Hello everybody, Jake here and welcome to the hobby. Unless you've been living under a rock, you may have noticed, but the prices on graded Pokemon cards have taken a massive dump over the past 6 weeks. Prices on graded Pokemon cards specifically have seen the largest decline that we've seen in a very long time. Specifically on the most speculative cards, because in my own personal collection, I haven't really seen much of a drop. In fact, my collection hasn't really been climbing, but it's certainly kind of flatlined. It hasn't really seen any drop at all. I've actually seen a little bit of growth in the period of November, and I've seen a lot of other people's collection, and some of these collections are dropping by 20, 30, as much as 40 to 50% of their collection value has just been lost over the past 6 weeks, which is kind of scary. And I looked into the number and it's absolutely true. If you bought some cards around the period of September to August and you've held those cards into October, which I think a lot of people did because most people don't buy a card and sell it within the period of 6 to 8 weeks. If you held onto some of these cards, then a lot of them have seen really significant drop in prices, and these are the most speculative cards. So I got a list of some of the cards as well as their price drops, and some of these are kind of staggering, so we're going to go over that. First up, we got ourselves the Great Felt Hat Pikachu. This is a darling in the Investor Bro community. The Great Felt Hat Pikachu's peak price was right around the period of September, and it was going for right around $2,200. Its current price is $1,300, which means it saw a 40.9% price drop. That is really significant. Another one that is more speculative, because who really speculated on this card, and that is the McDonald's Pikachu, but it was going for right around $350 around the same time. Now it's going for 80 bucks, which is a massive 77% price drop. That is not surprising. Some people are chalking this card up as a failure. I would say it is not a failure. I would actually put it as a crowning achievement in how cool Pokemon cards can be, because a free promo card that was given away at McDonald's in Japan in a PSA 10 should be going for right around $80. Anyone that paid $500 was over speculating on this card. There was no world where a free promo card from McDonald's was worth 500 bucks. So I don't know who was buying those cards at that price. That's insane. Another really cool card is the Charmander from the Pokemon Center Stamp ETB promo. This one was really cool. Again, highly speculative. This card's peak price was going for $3,500. There's actually sales above that, but I'm being a little bit more conservative. And right now, it currently is going for $2,200, which means it saw a 37% price drop, which again, really significant actually. You're losing more than $1,000 of value in one single card, which is insane. Another cool card that saw massive price drop, and you guys are going to love this one because it's another Investor Bro kind of card, and that is the Umbreon V Max. Its peak price around 2 months ago was going for right around $3,800. Right now, it's currently going for $2,900, which means it saw a 23% price drop. Not as significant as some of the other cards, but you're still talking about around $1,000 price drop, which is staggering in the actual cost of the card. The flat value is just really high. The Umbreon VMAX is never going to see a 50-60% price drop because it is significantly older. Another card that saw a kind of a larger percentage drop is the Umbreon EX, the Sunbreon from Prismatic Evolution. Maybe not as surprising, but this card's peak price was actually higher than the Umbreon VMAX, which is kind of crazy. Its peak price was going for around $4,200, and now its current price is going for right around $3,000, so it saw a $1,200 price drop, which is a 28.6% price drop. Again, really significant. Kind of crazy if you think about it. Another one, this one is probably the least speculative card on the list, but I still wanted to showcase it, and for good reason, because it's a great example of how quickly prices on modern cards can drop as more and more people rip open booster packs. And that is the Mega Gardevoir EX SIR. This is actually my chase card inside of Mega Evolution. I haven't pulled it, so I'm really excited to pull it once prices drop on it a little bit more. Its peak price was going for right around $1,200. I'm giving some leeway because if you bought it right at release, it was going for as much as $2,000, but that's kind of ridiculous. Anyone that bought this card at release lost money. Like, there's no world where you bought this card on release and you thought it would retain that value. So I don't think that's reasonable, but maybe a month or two after release you bought it, you might think, oh, the prices has, kind of steadied and you don't expect any more major price drop. Well, this card at the end of October, it was going for around $1,000. And right now, just a couple of weeks after, it's currently going for $500, which is a 50% price drop. This is a card that you will try to sell to a vendor and they won't take it at 80%. There's no world where they take this card at 80% because it's losing 5% of its value every couple of days. No vendor is going to buy this at 80. They have to put into the calculator the effect that, hey, if I hold this for a couple of weeks, I'm going to lose that 20% margin that I just bought it at. So really crazy stuff. Another kind of speculative card, we got ourselves the red Victini V from Black Bolt and White Flare. This card, its peak price was going for right around $1,500, and right now it's going for $850, which is a 43% price drop. Another really cool speculative card, we got ourselves the Charizard EX from 151. This card is a really popular card to hold because people think modern Pokemon cards are grandiose and they're going to be amazing long-term collectible. And this card's peak price was going for right around $1,400, $1,400. That's peak price. Right now, you can currently pick it up for right around $950, which is a 32% price drop. And here's a fun fact. In January of this year, you could purchase the exact same Charizard EX from 151, also for $950. So what does that mean? That means throughout this crazy roller coaster year that we've had in 2025, this darling card for investor bros saw zero price increase. It basically stays stagnant. It did have kind of a roller coaster up and down throughout this year. But basically, if you bought this card in January, you probably paid around $900 to $1,000 for it. And its current value is still around $900 to $1,000. So it's so funny to me that regardless of where we saw this year going, this card saw zero climb, which is kind of funny, especially because people are so speculative on 151. Everyone thinks 151 is the hottest shit in the world, and it saw zero climb, which is kind of expected because we saw so many restocks of 151. There was just so many Blooming Waters collection booster bundles. Obviously, some people are still going to say, where Jake? Where Jake? I didn't see any in my local card shop. But yes, we did see some serious restock of 151 booster packs throughout this whole entire year. And obviously, some more people ripped them open, and the supply of these Charizards is still kind of climbing. Another really speculative card, we got ourselves the Greninja Gold Star card. This one was obviously a really popular card to pick up all throughout this whole entire year. Its peak price this year, it was going for right around $1,000, which is wow. That's really wowzer. If you're one of those people that bought this card below $100, you still saw a ton of value, but obviously if you're someone that picked it up during this year and you paid anywhere near $1,000, you lost a lot of value just because this card's current price is right around $650, which is a 35% price drop. We're going to talk about one final card, and that is the Magikarp illustration rare from Paldea Evolved. You can't have an investor bro kind of video talking about all of the cool speculative cards and not mention this one. The Magikarp illustration rare's peak price around 2 or 3 months ago was going for right around $2,400, and its current price is currently going for right around $1,900. It's still actually very steady. That is a 21% price drop, which is significant, but it's actually one of the lowest, if not the lowest percentage price drop on this whole entire list. So if you bought the Magikarp illustration rare out of all these cards, you saw the smallest drop out of all of them. You didn't win, you still just saw a smaller drop. I also want to talk about some speculative sealed product. We don't really have to go deep into it. Some speculative item, we have ourselves the 151 Pokemon Center ETB, really popular investor bro product just to collect and hold long term because it's a Pokemon Center stamp promo card inside of featuring Snorlax, and at the same time it is from 151, which is, again, a darling long-term collector set. Its current price is currently going for right around $800, and around peak price, which was a month or two ago, it was going for $1,050, which means it saw a 23.8% price drop. Pretty significant. Another kind of crazy one, we got ourselves the Paldea Evolve booster box. I could have picked some other booster box. I just like picking Paldea Evolve because, again, very speculative set. Probably the most expensive set in all of the Scarlet and Violet era right now. Is it the best Scarlet and Violet set? That's a little bit more debatable. Its peak price was going for right around $600 for a sealed booster box of Paldea Evolved, and I saw a lot of purchases around that price. You could say its average price was closer to like $550 maybe. It's currently selling for right around $400 a booster box, which means it saw a 33% price drop. Again, that's still pretty significant. If you bought one of every single item that I listed in today's video, you would have paid $23,000, and these items and all of their collectibles current value is right around $15,000, which means you lost 32% of your collection's value, and you would have lost essentially around $7,500 if you bought all of these items at their peak price and are looking at their current value right now, which is kind of insane. Pokemon card prices, again, can be very volatile. You can pick some serious winners, but you can absolutely get really, really burned pants on fire level kind of stuff too. It's kind of scary because prices are still dropping. We haven't seen the bottom yet. It'll be interesting to see where some of these cards end up. Graded cards that are still being graded, things like the McDonald's Pikachu is still dropping. Sealed product prices are still dropping a little bit. It's kind of crazy, especially the big one around the holiday season, which is the Mega Charizard EX UPC. That one's going to be kind of a crazy market indicator where that sealed box ends up after the holiday season is going to really showcase the health of the hobby. It doesn't mean that the hobby's dead if this UPC is it's 120 bucks, you know. That's not what that means at all. It could still mean the hobby's still really healthy. It just means that we finally reached kind of a cool off point before the 30th anniversary. So we'll see where that goes, but this is just a lesson in how speculative the Pokemon card market can be, and just a warning to anyone out there, don't buy cards at their peak price because you are more likely to lose value than not. So be careful out there. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.